Peter Marshall was a pastor in Washington, D.C. in the 1930s and the 1940s. There was a time when his wife, Catherine, came down with tuberculosis, and she was bedridden for 18 months. And she had a very difficult time with it. She prayed and prayed and prayed that God would make her better, but nothing was changing, nothing was happening. She eventually became very bitter towards God. And so her husband at one point gave her a pamphlet that told the story about a missionary who was once bedridden for 8 years. And that missionary had a very difficult time with that. She couldn't understand why God would have her in a bed for 8 years while there was so much great mission work to be done and so few people who were willing to do it. She frequently asked God, why, as she continued to pray that God would make her better. And she kept praying, even though she struggled with this. She kept praying that God would make her better for 8 years until finally she figured, I don't think that prayer is working. So one day, maybe just kind of out of desperation, she decided to pray something different. She said, Dear God, you win. If I am to be bedridden for the rest of my life, your will be done. But God, I want you more than I want my health. And within 2 weeks, she was out of bed, and she was completely well. And hearing that story made Catherine, Peter Marshall's wife, realize that she had loved the feeling of being healthy more than she loved God. And it's not wrong to love the feeling of being healthy, just like it's not wrong to never want your heart to be broken, just like it's not wrong to want your loved ones next to you in heaven. You can love those things passionately, as long as we remember to love God a little bit more. And why? Because God first loved us more than anything. And we see that most clearly in Jesus' own times of heartbreak and suffering. In the Garden of Gethsemane, the night before Jesus died, knowing full well the relationships he was going to lose, knowing full well the pain that was coming, this is what he said to his disciples. He said, My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. And then going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. And we know how God answered that prayer. His will was to put Jesus on a cross, to forgive us for all the times that we have loved anything more than him, so that you could walk through life confident that our Heavenly Father will always answer our prayers with the greatest love for all of his children.